Whoa, yeah. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh. Tune in for the show.
Welcome to the Funny Uncle Podcast. Woo! We are at an undisclosed location somewhere near
downtown Los Angeles.
Downtown LA. That's right. We have a very special guest for you here today. None other than the Sticky, the Oozy, the legendary Alex Farivar. That's right.
Everything on point but the last part.
Yeah, exactly. Not yet, at least not yet.
Sticky as fuck.
Yeah, sticky as fuck. I am Frank Escalante, a.k.a. Titty Roosevelt. What up?
I'm
Or Titty Roosevelt. That's pretty good.
We're gonna have an act of death on camera.
Yes.
It's a weed cough. I wish I could taste this weed.
I'm on stage two taste bud deficiency of Corona.
I can't smell my own farts.
I'm Robert Amador. Find me on Instagram at Slamador. And to my right,
Mr. Alex Farivar.
Oh, yeah. I thought I was just going to get skipped. Alex Farivar. That's me.
And then my name is Gabe, otherwise known as Girth Brooks. We are the leaders of the Girth gang. Know your worth, know your girth.
That's right, baby.
All that
Know your
shit.
worth, know your girth. FDR, Fat Dick Revolution. That's right.
Baby.
Fat Dick Revolution.
That's
Maybe
right.
not for 2020, but 2021.
2021 coming in strong.
Yeah, man.
You know,
Coming
maybe
in
get some
strong.
merch.
Okay. What do you think? Okay, lean and mean or thick and what? Thick and shit. Something like lean and mean dick.
Thick
or
and quick.
Thick and quick. There we go. What do you think, value system wise on cocks?
No girl likes quick.
That's true.
That's
no girl
true.
likes quick.
But if it's thick, sometimes they go quick.
My girl loves quick. You know
That's
what I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what I'm
That's what he tells himself.
That's true.
Call me
Damn,
King
man.
Bob Sam.
I always tell her, I'm like, hey, baby, get ready for the best 3 minutes of your life, baby. And that's it.
She's like, here we go.
And then I pull out.
I'm
all the
timing
time.
it.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm timing it.
Damn, gotta land that 747. That's that little Cessna. You gotta land
got
that Cessna.
a little Cessna, you
Gotta
know what
land
I'm
that
saying?
little Cessna, baby. Hey,
Yo,
I got a
real quick.
747.
Hey, real quick.
You guys all
talk
have cool
about-
names. My name is Barry Gay. I'm just
You know
very
what?
gay.
Hey, you can become anointed right now.
We gotta think of a name for him though. What should
I
it
don't
be?
know. I don't know about Barry Gay's pretty good, but
It's good.
What about like a famous person and then just kind of twist it a little bit?
Yeah,
Just kind
cause,
of.
like
yeah.
Garth
If you do
Brooks.
presidential,
Jack Tickelson.
Jack Tickelson.
He's a real
it's
funny
what
uncle.
I do for the scene.
Yeah, it's just method acting me grabbing balls.
I like to look
Has
at
nothing to do
marriage
with
like
being,
opera. High tones
Shit,
and low
okay.
horns.
Girth Brooks, Jack
Girth Brooks is
Tickelson,
great.
Tickelson.
John Wang, and Titty Roosevelt. There we go.
Nice.
Right here. Don't fuck with us. That's
Nice.
right.
Fuck with
Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay,
Teddy Roosevelt.
but going back,
man.
you said 747. You saw Tenet, right?
No.
Fuck. And
God
we
damn.
keep it there. We cut it there.
Yeah, we'll keep it there.
Tell
Yeah,
me
we'll-
this much. I mean, it's a Nolan film, so obviously, yeah, but it's worth watching.
You ever done
Oh
shrooms?
my god.
Yeah.
Okay. Just picture Inception, but on shrooms.
Yeah.
So Inception.
Basically like on Adderall or some shit like that. Like it's just a more intense version.
Yeah.
It's just like I have to watch it again. I watched it in theaters, but I was like, dude,
How
there's
was
so
Robert
much.
Pattinson? Was he good?
Oh yeah,
Dude.
he's incredible. He's fucking great.
Honestly, okay, you've seen Good Time, right? Right?
Great
And
fucking movie.
Lighthouse.
Great.
And Rover.
Great.
I
This
didn't
guy.
think he had
This is a moment,
Bro,
right?
he's the new. Who would I compare him to? He's the new. Because DiCaprio is the next Jack Nicholson. I would say.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
a good point.
That's a good
fair.
point.
When he
That's
gets ugly, yeah.
I would say
He'll get
Pattinson's
ugly.
the next De Niro, because De Niro didn't really come up till his 30s. That's when he started doing really
Yeah,
good films.
that's true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
Pattinson's like the next De Niro.
Because he was a pretty boy
De
for a
Niro
while.
owes the mafia some money. I heard that. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. For
They funded some. They funded.
They funded some shit,
what was
but
that?
also because he spoke out against Trump, he said "fuck Trump." They also don't fuck with him anymore, and he can't go to certain parts of New York.
The
anymore.
mafia likes
Really?
Trump.
Yeah, the Mafia.
The
likes
mafia
him.
likes
mafia
Trump a
likes
lot.
Trump.
They're like, oh, you got some tall towers. We got some tall lists.
What do you think Robert De Niro's face was when he found out he had to owe the mob money? He's like, what are you going to do?
Hey, have you seen the movie The Intern? It's not my best, but it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
I play a grandpa, but you know.
Fuck.
Hey, you ever see Cape Fear? You ever fuck with?
Dude, that was a wild one, dude. We speaking tongues at the end.
inches, but my balls gained 5.
Yeah, that's right. You ever seen fucking Bronx Tale, huh? You don't like them. You don't go over there. You don't go in the bar, huh?
Man,
That's
nothing
what you
worse
don't
than
do.
wasted
Hey.
talent.
Nothing worse than the way.
Son
Hey,
wasted
Sonny had
talent.
5 fingers, but he only used what? Tree. He only used tree.
Tree.
That's right. Tree. That's right.
Tree.
Dude, that's
Bam.
a throwback.
Yo,
man.
okay. What's your
That's
favorite
a-
gangster movies?
That's
What's your
such an
favorite gangster
Italian
movie?
thing. All 3 of y'all. That's actually black. All trio.
All right, Alex, what's your favorite gangster movie?
Scarface.
You had a post in your room. What am I even asking? I saw that. Yeah.
true.
What am I
Yeah.
even asking? He's got a poster. Let's see it.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
look
got
at
the
this.
socks on.
The
Look at
saquitos
that shit,
pues.
man.
Show it. Show it.
Yeah.
The
There you go.
saquitos pues. Look at that shit.
Damn.
Oh,
Both
He's a real
sides.
fan.
fuck.
What you gonna do? Huh?
Oh,
so you're gonna wake up in the morning, have a quaalude, and suck my cock again, huh?
Yeah, you know what? Hey,
You sound like a fucking prize.
hey, you know what the best part about that when he's talking to his girl, he's like, you know what? I can't have kids with her because her fucking insides are rotting.
He's like,
Look at her, man. Look, she just wakes up in the day, does her fucking nose candy. She lays around all day, doesn't do shit. I can't even have a fucking baby with her, man. Her womb is so polluted. I can't have a fucking baby with her, man.
No, but they're saying.
And he's like, hey, come on, Tony,
Hey,
please.
come on,
Come on,
Tony.
Tony,
Hey,
Tony,
hey,
come on.
Chino, it's in the eyes, man. You know. How do you feel about they might do
The eyes, they never lie.
hey, Chico, the Ash. I
Oh,
never
wait,
liked
wait, no,
Chico.
no. What were you saying? You told me about this.
Scarface. Did you know they're gonna do Michael B. Jordan as new Scarface?
what? They keep changing it. It went from DiCaprio to what's his face?
DiCaprio.
Michael
Yeah,
B.
yeah. It
Jordan,
went from
that's a
DiCaprio.
change.
It went from DiCaprio to what's his name? God damn it, he was in Narcos, the Mexico Narcos.
Oh.
Javier?
The guy who
Javier?
plays Javier Pena.
That motherfucker. Or
The guy who plays
Wagner?
who plays
More?
Plays Felix Gallardo.
Oh, that
Oh,
Alejandro.
No.
No.
It's not R. Damn, I'm like, we can just pull.
Some
it
Mexican guy or Carlos.
No,
Goddamn
but he's
Central
he's a
American
really good
actors.
actor. That's the thing. So I would
He
go
was
like,
in Star Wars, right? He
no,
was Star
that's
Wars Rogue One.
That's Oscar. Damn, why am I blanking out? Quarantine.
Dude, we're
I forget.
like tangenting.
Hey, what are you smoking?
that's-
dog?
It's
fucking-
smoking a cigarette.
he's like-
Smoking a
he's
cigarette.
like-
For
oh, yes,
YouTube,
yes.
For YouTube,
Yes,
it's
that's
a
right.
cigarette.
Hand roll cigarette. That's right. Yeah.
It's a hand-rolled organic
Oscar,
cigarette.
not Oscar Wilde. Fucking Jesus Christ, right?
Yeah.
Oscar Wilde.
Came back. He was like, I'm coming back from the dead.
Oscar Isaac?
Oscar.
Yeah.
Oh, Oscar
Wait,
Isaac.
he was supposed to be
what?
Scarface?
No, but that's what he's talking about. Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
But
Yo, Oscar Isaac.
No.
is-
The guy
Fine,
who's in Narcos,
bro.
Felix Gallardo, right? It was something Alejandro something.
Alejandro
Mexican.
Chonchon.
but now,
Alejandro Torta. Alejandro Torta.
Alejandro, put it right there. right there.
Shout out Food's Gone Wild.
Hey, fool's going wild.
Fool's Gone Wild.
Where's this fool going?
Dude.
Going.
Okay. When we were out during the Dodgers, like fucking celebration and shit, the amount of people that came up to us and asked if we were fools gone wild. Who was it?
Sorry, Diego Luna.
Diego Luna. There it is.
Badass
Dude,
actor.
but dude, the amount of people that thought that we were fools gone wild just because they had a fucking camera out and that shit was wild, bro.
Yeah.
Literally, a lot
Not
of
why?
people.
Because they're like,
I think they saw me because I had short hair. I was like,
they're like, hey,
I
you
was like,
down?
oh,
Hey, let me see your
fucking
socks.
blue, fool. Fuck.
No,
those
dude,
are
I'm
wild.
down as fuck, dude. The
yeah,
higher
dude,
the
me
socks,
too,
the
bro.
downer
I'm
the
fucking,
food.
I got tacos right here.
Look at that.
Fucking
Yeah.
right here.
High ass,
Right
like
here.
sock
Bam.
check, homie.
Man, sock check, homie. Hey, sock check.
Nah,
homie.
hey, the downer,
Sock check,
hey,
fool.
the higher the socks, the downer the fool. But the
Hell
downer
fucking
the socks, the higher the fool.
I'm the guy from the grassroots working up, you know.
He's on that poo-poo, fool.
He's on that Target game.
Y'all ever smoke Scante?
Scante Warriors.
Scante Warrior.
Scante Warriors.
Actually,
Damn, dude.
That's the sad part.
He's a Scante suggestion.
I had a dark time in my life.
Damn,
Damn.
dude.
Fuck, man.
That's crazy. Because I mean, you wrote that poetry book. I mean, that Robert and I have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
we
forgot you guys
into
did
that bad boy.
That shit was pretty wild. I think I read at least half of it. I want to read the rest of it.
I
but
tried
there's-
reading half of it, but like it's like a
But
little
you're smart.
sad.
You're
so
smart.
It's like,
you
know,
read
like,
half of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, okay, because here's the thing. There was so many things in it. I'm like, oh fuck, I actually like really relates, like just like thought wise. And I'm like, dude, this kid's like bearing his heart. So by the way, it's called Rotting, right?
Yeah, and where can they
Rotting?
find it? Where can they find it?
You can find it on Amazon. Or, yeah, pretty much Amazon. Or you can hit me up. Sometimes I have like copies on hand. And,
He hand delivered his
Yeah,
copy
he
to
hand,
us.
yeah,
It was
hand,
nice.
hand signed
they're
it.
the
signed it.
homies. You know?
He stroked your chooch too.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was
Well,
nice.
we don't want to talk about what Luby Booby did, you know?
Yeah, right.
You
Anyway,
got a
but,
discount on the book.
yeah, I did.
Deep-
No, it's really
deep
good. It's
discount.
good.
I really do. You really delve into like a very what's the word for it? Like emphatic side of shit. Just kind of like, cause like you know how like when you're trying to, your brain's trying to reason things. Like you really got that process down, especially like in like the opening poem. That was pretty good. I like read that like 3 times.
So I wrote, those are a collection from when I was like 22 to 29.
Damn.
So it was like a
Damn.
span of like 7 years. I'd been working on like a couple other books, like fictional novels, and then I just couldn't finish them. And I kind of
tough.
told myself, I was like, look, it's like I set like a goal, like a couple goals, and like those two I couldn't meet before I turned 30. But there was one goal that I'm like, I can meet before I turn 30 is publish a book before I turn 30.
Yeah.
That's a good goal.
So I was like,
dope.
all right, well, these books aren't ready. I'm not just gonna publish anything. And then for the longest time, I've been like sifting through like a lot of my old work. And I'm like, damn, here's another poem, here's another like song, or here's another like prose, some random shit. I'm like, what if I just collect them all together into like
Compile
a
them,
book?
curate
Compile
them.
them
Yeah.
into And then I wrote like another like 80 poems during that time just to like complete the book.
Some filler.
Yeah,
you know what I
but
mean?
a lot of them came from like when I was like on drugs, coming off of drugs, off drugs, depressed, happy, whatever, like just like a shit
Yeah,
show.
You got a lot of
emotions.
shit to pull from in that
yeah,
shit too.
and like,
Yeah,
dude, and even if people haven't done or experienced the things that you've experienced, the one thing that I picked out was like, oh, there's probably a lot of people that think like you. You know,
Well,
like
it's just a struggle. I mean,
It's just-
everyone's like I had a struggle with drugs. Some people have a struggle with eating. Some people have a struggle
Yeah.
with not eating. Some people have or just there's
Smelling the
everyone
balls.
has some kind
you
of
know?
struggle they got to overcome. Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking-
yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
that's not a struggle. That's more of like
curiosity.
Curious.
A dark curiosity.
That's I call that
That's
self-love.
bi-curious,
if
you know?
anything.
I call that a
Super
gift. No, but yeah, I don't know. I just think that everyone goes through something, and I just wanted to write something to where I'm like, hey, you feel like you're fucked up, but I also tried to make it funny. I don't know. It was like a
there's a
like
dark-
a
there's a dark-
whirlwind of emotions.
There's a
like-
dark humor to it
Yeah.
too, because I'm like, dude, like when you think of like people think of like masculinity today, they're not like, oh, you don't think of like a poetry book necessarily, but I'm like, oh, this guy's being so raw and so like honest
yeah,
and
no,
vulnerable.
yeah,
I was
the
like,
prose is
I
strong.
feel like I was looking at your penis.
I fuck raw.
Dude,
It was that book. The lines were like the syntax were like veins,
I was like,
and the binding was just like the pubes stringing it together,
straight up.
and then the ethos and the pathos was
What color
Ah.
pubes though? We're talking ginger. We're talking just
curly and reflective of the sun.
ginger.
yeah,
ginger.
ginger.
Let me ask you this though.
That's a rare kind.
Let me ask you this: when you were
curly
You
ginger.
don't really get to see ginger pubes all the time.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's
it's
pretty
true.
rare. It's pretty rare.
It's
It's
like-
they're a dying
Because
breed.
even if a girl
you know?
that you fuck that's like a redhead, first of all, half time you don't even know because she's got different color hair until you start seeing like, whoa, what's up with these little red? Oh, okay, so you're not really a blonde. But then,
Oh fuck!
but you're like, whoa, whoa. You're like, hell yeah,
ancient
embrace
discoveries.
It.
Ancient
They're hot.
discoveries.
she's got a palate.
She's got a.
Oh, Wes Anderson can use you.
Tarantino's
Yo,
loving you.
Hit up Wes.
You could have been the art director for Grand Budapest Hotel. That was great. You know, she's a Renaissance man. A woman.
Oh shit.
But let me ask you this though: when you were when you were getting sober,
Clean. I want to say sober because look what I'm doing.
hey, when you were
smoking
getting
cigarettes.
Cigarettes,
when you were
cigarettes.
when you were
Organic
when you were
cigarettes.
draining the grease oil from your asshole, all right, of your past, all right,
So heroin.
heroin. When you were draining, when you,
We didn't want to say it.
That's- say it.
That's what it is.
That was a.
we've seen your sets. We
No,
know
but
your
what-
shit.
She was a bitch, man.
No, but once you own it, it becomes you, and it has
true.
no power over
No,
you.
absolutely.
I
That's
laugh
the best
about it
part.
now on
That's the
stage.
best
I'm like,
part.
dude, I was a fucking crackhead.
That's the best. But
But like that was 8.5 years ago.
Yeah, and you own it. It's
Damn,
like it doesn't have
yeah.
any power.
And,
over
it,
you
and
anymore.
Yeah.
It's
it's kind of part of moving on is self-deprecating humor, at least for me, not for everybody. Some like the AA way doesn't work for me, like but it works for
a lot of people say that. A lot of people say that
It
too.
works for a lot of people, but this shit, weed helped me having a passion for comedy and like being able to do that all the time. And honestly, like friends and family matter, but.
What did you feel
Starts
like?
with yourself. Starts with yourself.
Did you feel like the
Yeah.
structure? Because because I just started recently writing for like a gig, and like I'm trying to like figure out what works for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I was listening to a podcast and people talking about coming out of addiction, they're like, oh, when I work on something, shout out with Zach Brown's podcast. Was it Higher Mind or something chats?
Yes. Well,
But they were talking about like, oh, like working really helps me, and I always hear that as a common thing with people recovering from addiction and shit like that. And is that something
Yeah.
that you had to like writing, or did you have that kind of?
Well, yeah,
setup,
you're
or?
still an addict, dude. You're
Yeah.
just switching one addiction to a different one, and it's.
Do you think it even
healthier
maybe
one.
helped with writing a little bit, like having that as like a thing to kind of focus on it all, or?
I mean, yeah, like there's times where I think like, oh, the only reason why I think like this or I write like this is because I had to deal with that.
Yeah, it's like
develops
transferring
your
energy a little
character.
bit.
Yeah, it does. It just kind of built. But sometimes I think I'm like, oh, would I have been who I am anyway without that? Who knows? But that's
It's not
like
that you needed that at all, you know?
no, because a lot of people go, oh, damn, I wish I never did it those years. Like, I don't really have that regret anymore, like I
Yeah.
used to. But now I'm just like, whatever.
Like you're gonna live the life you live, and then whatever is the outcome is
It was
wherever
my
the
teen years
direction's
and
gonna
my
go.
early mid 20s. I'm like, yeah, it's,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's an era where usually people fuck up their life anyway. So
That's
at
true.
least because like right now I got friends that are still actively like in it, still getting locked up, and they're in their early mid-30s. So I'm like, all right,
Damn.
when we're in our early mid-20s,
Yeah.
you know, you would be like, whatever, dog, I'll be out in like 2 months. I'll see you. Like, come visit me. Like, nobody visits you anymore now because they're like, oh shit, bro, I got like a family or I got bills to pay. Like, I got a life that I'm trying to
People
live.
grow up, and it's like some people like they just get lost in that area, and they just can't. It's very hard. To
Addiction
figure
is definitely one people. I think the misconception. A lot of times, whenever I would see like you know, like when Mac Miller died, you would read comments. People like, oh, so he killed himself because he did drugs like an idiot. It's like, all right, so you
Everybody
clearly
goes to killing themselves.
well,
It's
you know,
like,
you
it's not
clearly
even,
don't know. You think at the end of the day he really wanted that. Like two of my best friends, my sponsor died from overdoses. You think they wanted
Heath
to?
Ledger, same thing. Like
You think he
overdose. You know
wanted
what I mean?
that?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he just the drugs take you to that place, and then you get into. It's like it
You
kind of
hit that rock bottom.
Yeah,
kinda
heroin.
like,
Heroin. It's like heroin's like that girl that all your friends tell you, dude, don't fuck with her. You know what I mean? But that pussy's too good to not fuck with. It's too good.
dude,
It's addictive.
she hits
She'll ruin your
different.
life. You know, she'll rob you clean. She'll push you away
That
from your
pussy
family
will
and
knock
friends.
you
That's so
back.
crazy. That's so.
if these walls could talk,
That's
right?
That's so
Kendrick
crazy.
Lamar,
I've never
dude.
heard anybody say it like that because like everybody always says it like in another like cheesy way, but it's like, oh no, she's the girl that everyone tells you don't like. That's
She's
just, that's
dangerous.
heavy.
No,
She's
dude.
dangerous.
She'll
heavy.
ruin you.
She's a
Yeah.
fatal attraction because that feeling you get when you're already most of the time when you do heroin, whether you smoke it or you're about to, well, injecting is a whole different world. Like I was smoking it for like a good long time before I ever put a needle in my arm. But just put that needle in your arm, you're in a different world, dude. And so like to get there, you already got to be there here. You know, like most time when you're sober and then you relapse, you already plan that relapse a week before. You like you already
Shit.
know you're going down
When
that
you-
road.
wait.
It's like you know it's happening.
Is it like a feeling, or is
Wow.
it like your cognitive like thought is like, oh, I'm going to do this?
It's almost
No,
like,
it's
a,
like your brain-
sequence
it's
of
like-
events.
It's like
are
your
gonna
brain
happen.
telling you like, dude,
Yeah.
you're nothing without it.
oh fuck.
Damn.
You're nothing without it. You need me.
'Cause
It's
you
like that
change as a
bad
person.
Fucking girlfriend. It's like you
Yeah.
need me. You're nothing without me. I control your life. I get you up in the
Fuck.
morning. You
You'll
can't
need
leave
me.
the house
Where's
without
your car
me.
keys?
You're gonna be sick without
Oh, you're
me.
gone. You're going already? No. Stay.
Stay. She's
Oh,
just
you
like,
want to
she's like
invite
IV
Crystal
in you,
over
just
to
draining
bump
you.
things up a little bit? Sure, she can come. I'm talking about meth.
I'm talking about a hot cousin with a bad lisp, meth.
Dude.
From Riverside.
I fucking hate tweakers.
Hey, how you doing? Hey,
Hey, let me clean your house. It's like, no. I live in an apartment.
Dude, why do you think people that do meth have such a lisp? A lot of people on meth have a lisp.
Because they're trying to talk 30 words in 1 second. That's why.
Because they don't have teeth, man. It's coming.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Because
it.
they don't have
That's
teeth.
it.
They're
You
like,
know, you jerk
hey.
off on the. Like, it's insane.
It's like Porky Pig.
Shoot up, folks.
Heroin, you're like jerking yourself out. All of a sudden he's like, pass out, dude. I've gone over so many times while trying to do it. You can't even bust on heroin.
Damn. But no, I remember you
man.
used that line too in your poem too about the attraction of it's like a chick you want to like.
Yeah, and then when you
She's
get
dangerous.
clean, it's the worst feeling sometimes because you're like, it
How
feels-
is that feeling? Yeah, sorry. Go. Keep going. Sorry, my bad.
No, yeah, that's literally like a soldier coming back from war and all his friends are still there fighting and he's just like,
Damn.
fuck, they're all dying. I'm over here, like, should I go back and like try to like be with
Nah,
them?
It's like
gotta
you have, like,
cut
a
that out.
guilt.
You have to
Survivor's
cut it
guilt.
out.
That's
Yeah.
fucking.
I went to more
wild.
funerals after I got clean than when I was on drugs. And like when you go to funerals on drugs when people overdose, like it's so fucked up. But like, I mean, it's funny now, I guess, because everyone at the funeral is just like, does anyone have anything to say before they're all like. It's so fucked up.
They have to do a roll call in the middle of the fucking.
They're like, does anyone
Like
like
the brothers are junkie and like he's just there and they're just kind of. David, you have anything to say? Oh yeah, I love
bro?
it.
I mean,
love it, bro.
I can laugh about it now because this was 10
No,
years
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
10 years ago, one of
yeah.
my friends died, and his brother was also an addict. And like, I'm not gonna go too much into it. Like, his brother and him were both using. Brother was there when you know what I mean. After the funeral, he was like, "Let's go back to my place," and we all just got loaded.
Oh yeah,
Fuck.
yeah.
After we just buried someone.
Really?
Let's
go have a couple of
anything.
drinks.
Doesn't make you think
Yeah.
anything like that. And honestly, you kind of see like when you're at a funeral and you're on drugs, like you kind of see that person getting lowered into the grave. You're just like, yeah, that's probably gonna be me in like 8 months, 6 months, and like you're not even scared of it. You're just like, hey,
Now,
it is what it is.
Now, let me ask you a question. This is probably just me, like beating. Wow.
Beating?
Beating. I'm sorry,
Frank
beating.
Escalante or Frank
Sorry.
Patel?
Me beating questions. So many questions. So many questions for me. No, but this is just me being too TMI probably. But like, what is that feeling? What is that? How can you describe that feeling? If like let's say someone is like on like they just
Oh,
took
like
it
actually
like
doing heroin?
yeah, like what is that like what can you compare it to? What is
It's like a blowjob from God, baby. It's the best feeling in
Damn.
the world. I'm not even gonna fucking sit here in front and be like, oh, it's you know, you don't want to try it. But
No.
what am I gonna sit here and be like? I've done every drug pretty much, and there's no drug that made
Do
me
you
feel
think
that
Train
way.
Spotting got it pretty good?
Yeah, and Requiem for
Yeah.
a Dream.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Requiem
Oh,
from a
really,
Dream.
really, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw
Yeah.
that movie before I did heroin. How? I don't know, but you just
We don't
get
know,
there.
honey.
The
We
reason
don't
why
know.
I did heroin was because I was hooked on oxys first, and all it took was
okay.
one night. My hook didn't have any, and I was freaking out. And I started sweating. I remember I was walking my dog 10 o'clock at night, calling everyone. When my homie called, said, hey, he called me back. He's like, I got good news and bad news. I'm like, what's the bad news? He's like, I don't have any 80s, which were the milligrams of oxys, 80 milligrams.
80s.
which
They
don't-
just call it 80s.
yeah, they
Yeah.
were like, they don't have them anymore. They were like $40 a pill. It's expensive, dude.
Fuck.
You know? And I had a habit at that time of like honestly smoking like 20 of them a day, and I was selling them too. I was selling them. I was like in the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
Just to
you
feed my
had it
habit.
around you at all times. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Go to, yeah. It
Yeah.
was just, but I have none of that night, so I'm like
Mm-hmm.
freaking out. And my homie's like, I have no 80s. I'm like, no, what the fuck can be good news? Because I don't want no Vicodins or Percocets. They're not gonna do anything.
That pussy shit.
He's like, I got heroin, I got black tar, and it's like cheaper and it's stronger. You want to be sick or you're already doing it because oxys are synthetic heroin. It's like you're already doing it. You might as well fucking
shit, they are?
just do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's just
Yeah.
like Adderall is synthetic meth, dude.
Yeah.
Just meth
Dude,
in a
that-
pill.
It's just the same thing.
It's meth in a pill.
That's why the
Xanax,
pill
too?
epidemic is so bad. Because it's
Yeah.
like literally they're just giving you synthetic.
Bro, I was 20
Hard
years
drug.
old, and I would go with my homie who was like, he was straight up. You could tell he's like one of those like drugged out cholos, and then the other homie was a fucking bald white fucking. Had a Baphomet devil thing on the back of his head tatted. One of my best
Yum.
friends, and he wasn't a skinhead. He was just like an intense fucking one of the smartest guys I ever known. He can literally have a conversation about like physics and like all that kind of shit with you. And
Because he's tuned
while
in.
he's nodding out, no, he'd be like,
He's tuned in.
no, he's not tuned in. I'd be like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, obviously the 7 stars of the orbit of the Morse. I'm like, what? I'm like, the Morse code? How do you, this is before
Like-
Interstellar,
Like
you know?
he's like the next Einstein, but he's so
He
fucking
was.
strung out.
He
He's like,
passed away in 20
Yeah,
passed
dude,
away in
he was
2016.
Tess. He's like
man.
Tess. Slow.
Yeah,
Dude, the
Fuck.
DNA was melting, bro.
I
Like, they
saved
were
that
talking
guy's
about
life
it.
like 3 times. He OD'd twice, like in my car, and I remember, and he was one of my, and I never thought he would die. I mean, this is a true story, dude, and I can show you the MRI. He shot himself and survived because when he pulled the trigger, it went this way, and he made the gun. It was a zip gun. This guy was a genius, dude. He made
What's
it.
a
Wait,
zip
wait,
gun?
what?
I don't know, but he told me like he's like, I just made
Zip
it myself,
ties.
and like I put it in my mouth, and I pulled the trigger, and it went this way, and it lodged in the back of my head. It's the bullet was still in his head.
What the fuck? Is this
And
guy
he-
still alive?
No,
though?
he died in 2016 from an overdose.
Right.
Yeah, he died from an overdose. That killed him. He died in his fucking bathroom.
Dude,
sitting on
I feel like some people too, like, and it's always like the most tragic part. Like even like Mac Miller and all these greats and shit. It's like there's it's always a similar theme of like they have so much going on in their head. There's so much that they have like their potentials. It's almost like too much, or they come from like a bad background, but they have this greatness in them, and like it's just
Oh, you know what's crazy too? Is like I didn't like my family was great.
Mhm.
I didn't have fucked up parents.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I have Persian parents that whip your ass because that's what we do. But
Yeah.
like, and I was also a
That's just
piece of
culture.
shit. Yeah, it's that's a culture thing. Like honestly, like white people, like, oh my god, and they just like, yeah.
Did you see
dude.
the scar going down my esophagus? Yeah,
My dad,
culture.
my dad literally.
Thanksgiving 2013. Yeah. That's what it was.
With the baster. With the baster. Yeah.
My mom used, and like I don't know if you guys can relate, but my mom did most of the fucking hitting around. Cause my dad would come home and be like, I'm tired. I got from work.
You're like,
I
mom's
worked
gonna
all
deal
day.
with you. Thank God.
But like I didn't have a fucked up or anything. But yeah, and he was a fucking brilliant mind. But yeah, he died in 2016. He like relapsed after he got out of jail. But yeah, most of the time, man, it's like it's just hard to get away from. I don't even
Dude.
know where we were in the beginning.
Well,
but
dude,
yeah.
we're fucking glad you made out of it,
Yeah,
man.
man, for
Because,
real.
Yeah, man.
dude, first time I met this fucker, I remember we did it. Like we were on a show for Amazing Comedy, right? And it was like the first show. I was like, oh fuck, I'm on a fucking show, and like you know, you get there, you're like, okay, all right, this is cool, you know.
I like that room, man.
It's a cool room, man.
did.
And
I
Dan's
like
a
that
trip,
room.
dude.
Yeah.
But I remember I met you, and I remember like said the most simpiest thing to you too. Like after like one of the shows, like I was like, hey, bro, because like you're like the first guy that was like, oh, you made. I thought you were funny. There's a lot of people I didn't think were that funny. I thought you were fucking funny. And because
Okay, I won't kill myself. I guess I'll wait.
2 more weeks. 2
more
more
weeks.
weeks.
Jack Tickelson over here for the win. That's right. That's right.
Tickle or
right.
tickle?
Yeah.
Tickle.
I came up
Tickle.
to.
Let's- Tickelson. Yeah. Jack
I think I came up to like chapter 1 and was like, hey, bro, like, dude, just so you know, like, I would pay to see your comedy, man. Like, I literally said that to you. I was like, hey, man, like, I was
That's
literally.
nice. So most comics, like I feel like
They don't even laugh.
Everything's like a
not in Orange County though. I feel like our group, in some way, like
It's
we
supportive.
are a little more like. I mean, I know a lot of really cool comics out here in LA, but at the end of the day, comedy is a one-man show. It's like you're on your own.
Yeah.
But like,
And they're trying
you
to
could
climb
still
a
be
little
like,
bit.
dude, like that was.
Yeah.
Like, I'm real with it. Like if you have like. Let's say like you two had a good set, and I'm like, dude, good set. And like if you didn't have a good set, something flash over there.
Yeah. That was fucking
Good
weird.
set.
Good set.
Yeah, I
that-
was like, oh yeah, there it is.
There
Fuck.
you go.
Was it a drone or what was it?
Oh damn, it's coming from over there too. They're just
I
nobody
literally-
won tonight,
I
but okay, do
literally-
it.
I was like, who fucking won?
Dude, do you know how many times throughout the past couple months people have tried? I see it try to start riots, like break a window. No.
No.
Yo,
That's
yo,
it.
Not today.
we picked up on this. Like anytime you see like a really heavy set blonde chick with like highlights of tattoos, and she's like walking, she's like, okay, we're gonna hit this street.
Get
she
the
just
fuck
tags
away.
it up.
Just
Get
get
away.
away.
She's
Just get
problems,
away.
bro.
She's tagging BLM.
yeah, literally.
It's like,
hell
I'll
are you
go
doing
for
here?
it, you know.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
what the hell are you doing?
Fuck, man.
But no,
Yeah,
I feel like in LA it's a little bit more kind of like tier climby. OC, I feel like it's a little bit more like, I don't know, it's more supportive, but like
I
even
mean,
then
it is kind of clicky. There are clicks, but
Yeah.
like people are much more friendly on the surface. I feel
I think what it is like people see that if you laugh at that comic's joke, it's somehow that they're funnier than you, and it's not really. It's just like once you're off stage, that's it. You're off stage. Like you should be able to turn off the ego of like,
Yeah, I like
all
to
right, I'm gonna be
laugh.
supportive.
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love comedy. That's
Yeah.
why. I
like
fucking
nobody goes
do
and
it.
watches. I'd be like, why aren't we watching? Like I know like seeing the same set is boring, but like sometimes you catch some fucking moments.
No, you're right.
You know what
There
I mean?
I'm not gonna lie. There are times where I'm like, all right, after my set, I'm just gonna go outside, hang out.
It's
do
just
things,
fine, you know, go smoke a
weed.
little bit, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like sit. Like, I don't expect anyone to watch my set. That's a comic.
For
you know?
4 hour mic.
Yeah, you've already seen me on set,
Yeah.
on stage. You don't need.
I
it,
did
you
a
know?
I did a mic in San Fran, and immediately there was like 30 comics in the room.
I've never done a show in San Fran.
It's
Supposed to be pretty
it's
good.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the reason why it was so cool is because as soon as I got off stage, you immediately turned into the audience. Even though they just went up, they were so supportive and like so like, oh fuck, that was funny. And it was like, why can't this happen like everywhere? Because you need to know.
I
Because
think out
someti-
here-
because sometimes there's not enough people watching, like regular people watching, like you do comedy. You need that satisfaction of
Yeah.
like that reassurance of like, oh, this joke is funny, like so and so and so and so,
Yeah.
you know, freaking.
Well, because
laughed at it,
you're trying to cut your shit together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Yeah.
think out here it's just so
I
concentrated.
appreciate the
so it's
opinion
like,
of my peers probably more than even the audience.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
Even though it's supposed
Yeah.
to not be like that, you're supposed to please your audience and
Yeah.
see what. But everyone is different, and you can find a way to where if everyone here has different kind of a different kind of humor, you can still find a way to make all of them laugh.
mhm.
Yeah.
You know, that's on you. But like, if my peers are telling me like, dude, that was fucking good, and I know they're not blowing smoke on my ass, and I'm like, all right,
That's
cool.
a bigger,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
And-
Because the other thing too is like I feel like right now people's gauges for humor is so fucking all over the place.
Yeah.
It is so hard to be like. I mean, I don't want to use the cliche phrase like all things to all people, but it's like you can't really even do like that. Really, you never really could do that with comedy, but like. I mean, there are comics that are very like general, like they have much more of a generalized audience. But it's like even then, you can't really do that anymore. Like people's
How
humor
is-
is all like.
I
over
think
the
it's gonna be
place.
so weird, man. Like, are we gonna even be able? It's not even be able to, but is that material? A part of me thinks I think the same thing might happen when the election was going on, right? After Trump became president, it's like don't talk about politics on stage, even though we were
Yeah.
in a very
Yeah.
like the climate. It was super political, and everyone was opinionated, and
Yeah.
it was.
Let's
there
take a
was-
fucking break.
There was a lot of partisan beliefs on both sides that people didn't agree with, and
Yeah.
and I remember when I would watch stand up in like the 2000s when we were like in the Iraq War with Bush and all that,
Mm-hmm.
talking about Bush, making fun of Bush and all that was in. Like people wanted to go there and laugh at that and laugh at how dumb that president
Yeah.
was at the time, right?
Yeah.
But now nobody wants to hear that shit. So in my opinion, I'm thinking like, all right, when this is all over, do people want to hear coronavirus jokes and that's all they're going to want to hear, or is it just going to be how it was in 2015, 16 to where
'Cause it's
nobody
different
wants to
now.
hear that shit?
It's different
and,
now.
and
It's just
honestly,
different.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think
Yeah.
people are gonna want to hear it because the thought of when we go back to normal, the thought of me hearing the phrase like social distance at all, like 5 months maybe after it's done, I'm like, I don't want to hear this shit.
I'm
Like,
just
I-
over
like,
it.
Like I'm over it. Like
Because we're
I-
over
you know,
it,
like
you know?
Because
Like-
you know what it is? Like I think like I don't want to like use it like in like a theoretical term, but like in art movements, there's things that kind of break reality, and there's things that are aligned with reality. What's gonna happen after this? It's like it's almost like escapism. Comedy's gonna become more escapism versus like talking about like
Yeah.
everyday things. You know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
I mean, Tim Dillon on his podcast, he was saying like, comedy's probably gonna get goofy after this. It's
Yeah,
gonna go back to
yeah,
being like more
yeah.
goofy, like alt comedy's gonna
More
kind of
like
come back.
politically incorrect, even.
Yeah, even like yeah. But it's just like people
Yeah.
don't want to hear like shit that they're living in. You know, like
Yeah, they used to, but I
Yeah.
think it's kind
Yeah,
of
they-
so
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
I think I don't want to
used
hear
to.
nothing about my life, dude.
Yeah, I don't want
yeah.
to hear like, oh, this reminds me of coronavirus. Well, coronavirus, it's like I don't want to hear it anymore. Like I just don't like.
Oh, it killed one of my relatives. I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
This time period is going to reflect so bad on like individually for people when they hear it, they're like, oh, well, I go back to like fuck, I had to be in my apartment for 4 months straight, or I couldn't see my family for like 5 months straight, and then I had lost my job, and it's like,
But you can still. Here's the thing, though. In a way, I actually, because there are some jokes that I have written over the course of what are we in now, like 8-9 months.
yeah.
Yeah.
Something like
Right?
that.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't know. I have written jokes where I know, like, okay, I'm sure other people feel like this too, like during this pandemic, and like I wrote jokes about, like, I even did some of the jokes like in June, July, some of the COVID jokes, and some of the jokes about the riots and the protests, and there was a lot of material out there. There's a lot of shit that it's just the way I guess you do it.
How do you make it like unique? How do you make it like not like, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. It's like I can
think
do a
it just
COVID
has-
joke, but what's
I think it just has to be, at the end of the day, even though you're talking about COVID or you're talking about riots or you're talking about just anything that's dark and
The
kind of
election, like all
controversial,
that, yeah.
it's still got to be you. Like, you
Yeah.
still have to make it,
Yeah.
it has to tie into who you are. It can't be like you're sitting here and you're reporting, like, so what do you guys think about, you know, it's like you got to be like, oh, you know, in a way, even if you're not saying this is my experience, like, people know that was what you were experiencing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if you want to talk about being in quarantine, what your experience was like, or if you want to talk about the riots, like, or the protests or whatever, were you out there, you know, what was your experience like? You want to talk about traveling during this time of like a lot, I don't know.
do you think
whatever.
that like is like reflective? Because I was trying to think of like
I'm also high.
no,
On cigarettes.
Dude, we got him cracked.
Yes. Nicotine.
Open.
He's
yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Schmitz my schmitzel. Okay.
I think about persona and comedy all the time, and like what that means in general. Because it's like always about the process. Do you think that like because you're saying you should do your stuff through who you are? Do you think that's because like as a comedian, you are a comedian because of your experiences and how you reflect the world? It shouldn't like you can do jokes that are like more like external, like isn't it crazy that this and this? It's not connected to me. But I feel like sometimes like truly like comedy comes back to your interpretation of the world. Do you think that?
Yeah, I mean, I
Right?
think at the end of the day, people are intrigued and like captivated by you as a comic and the way you are presenting these jokes, because I don't know, if you look at some comics, like
Like Bill Burr, right? You
Bill Burr, it's like when he's telling his jokes about anything, you know, it's like I can see him thinking that or like feeling that way.
Like I believe him.
Yeah.
I believe he actually thinks
like this whole, even his Arnold Schwarzenegger like joke that he has. Have you ever heard that? He's like, dude, he's a great man. He's like, yo, so he fucked a maid. He's like, dude, he was in the zone for 4 decades. Like, he's like, you go to a country, start over, learn their language, become famous for weightlifting, then marry into royalty or become a famous actor despite the fact you can't even fucking speak the language, and then marry into royalty and take office. Like, no, you can't. He's a great man. Like, he went off. Like, he went off, right?
And that's the thing.
It's like, and it's not even that. It's probably, if you look at it, it's not even that funny, but it's, man, I
Because
don't
people
know.
don't look at it that way. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Even though it's right in front
There's
of
an
you.
angle.
I think
It's
that's
about
what
the
it is.
angle.
It's like you got
The
to bring
angle.
out something that someone's thought. Like, to me, good comedy is whenever you're on stage and you say a joke, that person that's watching, like, dude, I've fucking thought about that.
Yeah.
That's exactly
and
what I
that's-
think.
and that's
Like,
crazy.
You know,
That's
it's got to be
connecting.
relatable.
It's connecting
It's
too.
gotta be relatable.
That's crazy
Affecting.
because people don't. I don't think people think about this, but like when you go to a comedy show, like let's say you pay to go see Sam Morril or like Mark Norman or like Bill Burr or Dave Chappelle. What you're doing is you're paying for perspective, because you want to know their perspective on politics. You want to know the perspective on what they think about refrigerators. You want to know the perspective of what they think about like, podcasts, whatever. Like, it's just like you're paying for that perspective, and that's what people like.
That's
love.
the business too. That's
yeah.
like why people like are you? Because that's the thing too. It's like all the love to like everybody trying to get into comedy, trying to get into acting, trying to whatever. But it's like what do you have to offer? Like, are people gonna want to buy tickets to see you. And like I forgot who said it, but
Yeah.
someone pretty much said like,
What do you have to say?
Yeah.
You know?
yeah.
Why
But
is it different?
but-
Why do people want to hear it?
does
you know?
someone 8 states away from you that has no connectivity to you as a person want to watch you?
Honestly, I think I just thought about this. It boils down to just, are you funny?
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
are you gonna make?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you know, there's so
That's it,
many
man.
times where I've watched the comic like at a live, like waiting at a show. I'm like, that humor has never made me laugh, but this dude just made me laugh. So, or this chick, whatever. Like you know, they honestly, there's times where I will watch a comic go up and he or she could be like doing their shit that maybe that comic before them was doing the same kind of material,
Same structure,
and
same
it
like
just-
whatever.
But it just
It
hit
didn't do it.
hit different.
because I can tell that they're trying to be someone they're not. And then here comes this dude or this woman who's being themselves.
Who's so sure of themselves. Yeah,
and
exactly.
Fucking, I'm laughing at shit that I've like would probably never laugh at if someone else did it, but they
Yeah.
did it.
It's
Just be
it's-
funny.
Yeah.
Just be funny, because I mean, like a lot of times, like even if you're gonna be offensive, it's like, well, then just be funny.
Yeah.
you're
If
just
it
gonna
works,
go-
it
yeah.
works.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I believe in if it's funny, it's funny. Like
Yeah.
you can, if you're gonna make a joke about, like there were times where like we'd be at like a family death, after a funeral, and I inappropriately crack a joke about that person, and then and then people laugh, and I'm just like, you wouldn't fucking laugh if you didn't. And also sometimes it's a coping mechanism to laugh through some bullshit.
Because it cuts through the
Yeah.
pain, man. You
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys can agree with this, but like, you ever go to like a mic sometimes and you see somebody go up for the first time, and you see them do so well.
Yeah, I'm like, this was
Yeah.
your first time.
Yeah,
bro. Fuck
yeah.
Sorry,
or
run
never
that one
want to
up.
say it.
Yeah.
But like,
Oh, I'm from Bakersfield. I've never done comedy.
Yeah.
but like, there's times where they say like, hey, it's my first time, and they go up and they kill, and then I don't know, maybe do you think guys think about it too? But like at a certain point, I'm like, damn. If this guy keeps going, he's gonna be so fucking good. Or
Yeah.
guy or girl.
So
keeps
many
going,
people, though.
And
So
then,
many people like
and
that,
then
though, you know?
you never see them again.
Nope.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa.
Or they go and kill Tony, and they've been doing it for like 11 years. They're like, oh, I don't know, I've been doing it for like 3 months. Like, you know.
Bro,
Dude, that's the
honestly,
best.
you know what's weird? I just think people just give up.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
because
honestly,
it's a mental
it's a-
illness.
it's
You
a
have to be
2-year
fucked up to do
lifespan.
comedy. You really
Yeah,
do.
you do,
You
like,
really
It's
do.
a 2-year lifespan. I've noticed a lot of people. I started in 2015, and there's a lot of comics that have
Are not
come
here.
and go
Yeah.
since that
Yeah.
time. And I've noticed that the average lifespan each one has is 2 years. Because the first year, it's exciting. Everyone will come see you, even if you blow
So
a
many
dick.
friends.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like, dude,
yeah.
I'll you do all those fucking shows. You can fill up the seats because no one's seen you before. And then next thing you know, the second year comes around, everyone's like, well, I've seen you. I'm not going to come again. And is it new material or is it the same? You can't come up with new material, or you start getting demotivated, or you're starting to think like, oh, I should be further now. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
Dude,
dude,
takes
I've been
so
doing it.
years.
I've been doing it for 5 years, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I just like
Starting to
Starting
crack the
surface,
egg.
well,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
now because of fucking COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, COVID. I was
Yeah,
just saying with music too. That's kind of like that too. I'm sure. Like you get a band together, you guys start putting shit out, and like the
Yeah,
first
it
album
sucks,
just
man.
out there, and
Film
this-
too. I was in film school.
Dude.
I would say there was like 40 of us in the class, and by the time we all graduated, just 18 months later, there was like 17.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
like-
because dude, it's like same thing with film, bro. Like there is a type of like numbness to like. When you hear like horror stories from sets, like you've been busting your ass on sets recently, dude. Like this fucking mule over here.
We'll talk about it off camera.
But like, there's so much
I'm
stuff
trying to
that
keep my
goes.
job.
Yeah.
I sucked a couple cocks.
Yeah.
I went-
Plural.
Yeah, I've been sleeping with the grip.
Yeah.
But no, but like there's
grip?
there's
He's been putting his nose on someone's pelvic
At
bone.
least get the script. At least get to the fucking AD or something.
Yeah,
the script advisor.
The script advisor.
I'm just trying to get. I'm
You
just
read
trying to get
scripts all the
behind the
time.
screen.
Okay.
I just want to be near the monitor. I want to
This
be.
guy just goes low blow for the grip. He's like, I'm gonna get the guy that gets the equipment. I'm gonna suck his cock. Maybe I'll make it in this industry. No, bro, you're just gonna keep sucking cock.
He's like, hold it there.
Cradle.
But I feel like for any creative like industry job, like whether it's music, film, or comedy, there is a little sense of like you're kind of not dead inside, but you like there's just nothing
you're
but
fucking
that.
dead
You
inside.
really a little bit. You have
Well,
to. It has to be like nothing. You have to go all in.
You have to
'Cause
pretty
it's
much
fucked.
be okay with. This is why now, as a grown man, I'm like, God, thank you, Dad. Fucking told me all the time, you ain't shit. Nobody cares about you. My dad's like literally, he's Persian, obviously, and
I noticed.
Hey, yo, when you put that picture up of your dad, I was like, what?
Why is it?
And I was like, dude, he looked like your dad, man.
Yeah,
Like,
everyone said, but you know what's funny? People in my family think I look like my mom. But
So
all
soft eyes.
All my friends, everyone else, like, dude, you're like your dad. You're like, I'm like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, because you made me. But like,
I came out of his balls.
When I was 4 years old and when he was 4 years old,
Same.
identical.
really?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
difference.
Me and my dad too. It's kind of wild.
But like,
It's kinda
my
weird.
dad sounds like
Yeah.
Obama. That's how he talks. He's like, you're an idiot. You got a heart of gold. It's like,
A heart of gold.
and that'll take you far.
Damn.
Now, please,
Yeah, I mean,
get out of my face.
I think with anything,
I'm
it's gonna really test you. Like, it wants to make sure that you actually love it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, man.
I think certain things, like, if you can't go through like the shit and be like, fuck, like during this time,
I still want to be here.
like I'm
be
sure
okay
that,
with rejection, dude.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that's what's even like as personally like it's made me more of like a thicker skin because I used to be so like uptight about like, oh, what if someone calls me like a wetback or like a beaner or something, but now if someone were to do that, it's like, oh, okay,
Dude, you should just play along. And
yeah,
go like,
yeah, and it's like, oh, you're fucking right. Yeah.
What else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like for me, it's made this thick skin where it's like, damn, like this is. I wish I would have felt this when I was younger.
Dude,
Yeah,
And
right?
it's like at the same time,
your
yeah,
brain is a fucking peanut.
yeah, exactly.
That's why
Yeah,
kids should
thing
never.
that-
When
thing
people are like, I just let my kids, make decisions for themselves. Like, bro, when I was 8, I wanted to be a fucking velociraptor. Like, no. Like, no. Yeah. Like, I can't even do it right. Shut the fuck up, Alex. Like, I always, when I was 4, like as a kid, I always wanted to be in like film and comedy. Like Jim Carrey was my hero.
Yep.
I always wanted to, right? But I know there was like a period in between where I'm like, dude, I could be a fucking dinosaur, bro. Like, I could be like a raptor, or I could be like maybe a cheetah. Like, I'm like, am I fast? I'm pretty fast.
You watching
Like,
Jurassic
I'm
Park?
tall. Yeah, I'm tall.
no, I was short as a kid.
Oh, shit.
As a kid, I didn't have a growth spurt until I was like sophomore, junior year.
Shit.
But like, yeah, I just don't think kids should have any decisions to make for themselves ever. It's just like, no, shut the fuck up, get in here, go fucking.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of funny now? We kind of live in the age where like you have like kids that are almost becoming like political pundits or like
Hey,
leaders
my
of
kid
movements.
wants titties. Let him have titties. It's like, no, no.
Malcolm wants to have a heavy set. He's gonna get a heavy set.
He wants the
heavy.
what the
He's 9.
Yeah, he's 9.
Malcolm is 9 years old. He lives in Connecticut and he wants double D's. He's 9.
We're gonna give him the double D's, all right? Give him the double D's.
And just to say out there, we're all supportive, love of whatever, but it's like Malcolm shouldn't have double D's.
No, bro. Hey, you're a grown adult. You want to do it?
Let him at least wait till he's 18.
Do whatever
You
the
want to get
fuck
some
you
titties? Get some titties.
get some
dude.
titties.
Honestly, I think they should make everything 18. Like, why do we have all these arbitrary rules?
21,
like,
bro.
21. It's like you can get killed.
21.
You can go overseas
Yeah.
and get killed
That's
at
a good point.
18,
That's a good
and then
point.
like
You
get
can't
a
rent a car.
You can't rent a car. You can't rent a
That's the
fucking U-Haul
biggest
until
bullshit.
25. Fuck you, I can
Get
now.
shot in the face on the front lines at 19, 18 years old. I think you're right. I think honestly, you shouldn't be able to serve until you're 21. I think they should stop grabbing 18 because you know why? You know why they
They don't
grab
know shit.
You know why they grab
Because-
18-year-olds,
because-
19-year-olds? Because you're just fucking down, dog. You're just fucking down. Why? There's bullets? Fucking down. Fucking
Yeah,
right
don't-
there.
don't
Like,
fucking worry.
Fuck those.
you're not
fucking
thinking.
run in
I got
there.
friends that served when they were 18, 19. They're like, dude, you don't. What? Nothing here telling you to know.
No fucking
Stop.
mocos. No
Then you
mocos
see your
upstairs.
friends die and blow up, and you're like, this is not a good idea.
I think I'm gonna go back home.
Yeah, I
Fuck
think
on the shop.
I'm a political prisoner from Cuba. And I know I show my fucking rights. But like, dude, you should 21 is like you don't have a fully developed brain until you're like 23, 25.
Yeah.
So that's a long time. I'm not saying wait till, but at least at 21 you're starting. I don't know. I was pretty stupid. at
21.
but like,
Go to boot camp.
Yeah.
Like, SEAL boot camp
Yeah.
and get
Yeah.
big tits. That's what. You just imagine fucking crawling with like new tits. You're just like, get on the ground, private. And he's fucking.
I
crawling.
just got out of surgery 3 days ago.
Officer Terrence, it's Officer Teresa.
Officer, my areola's hurt. I'm scraping. I'm chafing off.
Get them titties off the ground! No.
I'll distract him.
We are paying respects to Jonathan as he jumped on the grenade and protected his
Like,
rivals
and he-
from his tits.
Here's a silicone.
Here's a silicone.
Where they're like in Iraq, the guy, the enemy fucking.
Dude, you know how when someone dies overseas, they bring like the flag home. They just bring flag and just like fucking silicone. That's the only thing they
It's
have.
got like a bumper.
Instead of shooting the guns, they have a potato gun. They shoot the silicone up.
Can Can you imagine like they get killed? Dude, we're horrible people.
Yeah, we're all going to hell.
Imagine they get killed like overseas and some like insurgent dude's like, what is this? It's like, what?
It's nice.
Double D's, size 8. What is this?
Oh, this is nice.
Bro, I appreciate cock and titty.
It's much better than gold, you know.
This contrast is art, right?
It's like some Zohan shit. He's like,
Oh, man, I love fucking
bro.
Zohan.
That was so stupid, but
Dude, when
so
he fucking
funny.
does the push-ups, he's like,
Love
he's just like,
He's like, hold on.
Dude, pre-Hubie Halloween, man. Pre-Hubie Halloween.
That was
Fucking A, man.
I don't know what I was watching.
Damn,
I think
man.
Ridiculous 6 is worse, but
Oh, I got through like 15 minutes of that,
I
and
got
I
through
was
the whole
like,
thing. That's how I know my frontal
tried.
lobe is not
numb.
well.
let me. I want to dive into something real quick. Let me ask you an existential question.
Oh.
Okay, and actually, this is a question for all you right here. So there's an asteroid coming in 2069.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
2069.
Okay.
69 rep.
Who
That's
came
right.
up with this?
Okay,
Ron
okay.
Jeremy?
No. Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay.
Behind bars,
So
yeah.
Dude,
there's a meteor coming. It's gonna have cataclysmic conditions. Okay, I'm gonna be roughly like 80, so we're gonna be like in our 80s, roughly, or almost in our 80s, I think. Okay.
Okay.
Would you? I have a feeling there's gonna be a base on the moon already. Would you take that trip to the moon and live out the rest of your years there, or would you die here and wait for the meteor?
2069? Bro, I'm fucking...
I'm gonna sit this one out.
I'm already dead. I'm
I'm
already
gonna get a
dead.
lounge chair, smoke up.
I'm 32, so what? That's 2069 is 49 years from now. So I'll be 70... No, I'm sorry. I'll be 81. Bruh.
You'll be on a catheter.
I'll be dead. There's no way I'm going to be living past 65, if that.
Dude,
So
honestly,
the question of that is, I'll probably just stay here, chill, smoke a joint, watch the Earth blow the fuck up. That'd be the craziest
I'm sure the
thing
light
ever, dude.
show worth it.
Worth it.
So you want to be here for the tsunamis?
No.
Oh.
That shit I'm not down with.
No. That's
fuck, I
no.
didn't
That's
think
what
of
I'm.
that.
That, no, but that's what. I'm, yeah, exactly.
I have so many dreams.
Dude,
of
that
tsunamis.
shit.
okay.
Have you ever seen like
Yeah.
the documentary, like the Indonesia one, and
Yeah.
the videos they were showing? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Okay, just like
yeah.
okay, like but like
Holy
fucking
shit.
like what is it that movie?
be like,
20,
God, God's pussy's wet.
like fucking God's coming, God's coming. No, but like okay, imagine just real quick. Fast forward to 2069. It's gonna hit, and the wave is taller than that shit. Okay. The wave coming. I'm talking like coming, like 500 miles per hour, and it's just like
Some
it's coming.
day after
Do
tomorrow.
you still want to
shit.
stay? You're
no.
and you're right, and
I'll
you're
go to Venus and die upon landing.
And you're right.
So the asteroid isn't big enough to like blow up the planet. It's just big enough to like make cataclysmic.
make a new
tsunamis.
dinosaur.
Bitch,
Make a new
bitch.
like.
Bunker up, ho. Bunker
So
up.
so would you
I'm down
so
to
would
see
you
the
so
dinosaur, but I'm not down to die in a fucking tsunami.
so would
dude.
you would yeah, exactly, and that's the scary part for me because I'm like, man, if I saw that fucking tsunami, I'd be like fucking Gus and
You know
fucking.
how high I am? I looked at the building and I just saw, during the fire, it's like black dude with a big dick just sitting like that. I just saw that shit moving towards me. I'm like, ah!
Goddamn.
Dude, I just dick this fucking. I
But like, I picture myself like being fucking old and like, Breaking Bad, that guy that's in the chair in the wheelchair,
Yeah.
just like
Hector?
just like sitting there like this, watching them wave, like. just like,
Dude.
just ringing his fucking bell.
Dude, his face right before he blows up, he's like, remember when he's about to kill him? When
he's-
Gus is about to kill him, and then he's like this. He's like. He's like, oh, boom!
Yeah.
He walked out of there, and I was like, damn, he survived.
And then
Such
you
a great show, bro.
Fuck,
Hands
so
down,
Good.
best show ever.
Yeah.
Best show
Okay.
ever.
Yeah.
There's so many things to talk about when it comes to that show.
But like
I know.
imagine, but like imagine real quick. Imagine being like, you know what? I want to live my life out on the moon. I want to go to the moon, and then you're on the moon, and you're seeing it
You're
happen.
watching Earth,
Like
yeah.
imagine you see it, and you're
Fuck, I
like,
couldn't.
everything I've ever known,
this is yours or mine?
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
fine.
everything
You
I've
can
ever-
have-
That would
you can have-
fuck me
everything
up.
I've ever
That
known.
would fuck
I'm
me
watching
up.
it being hit by this fucking just. Like that's
Dude,
that'd be trippy.
especially they don't have fucking like tater tots on the moon. I'm like, no, dude.
Dog, what the
No
fuck?
will to go forward.
Dude, well, also we're gonna be old on the moon, dude. Our fucking jowls are gonna be like
Dude, imagine osteoporosis on the moon.
Hey, imagine going to the moon like
in
this.
old age.
You're trying to have
Good
sex.
in my old age. I think I'll just stay and be like, this death is wicked. You know. And just
I told
die.
myself I want to
Just
go
die.
wherever it hits. I want to be right in the middle because I want it to be fucking. I want to be
Quick.
vaporized.
That's
Yeah.
so romantic.
I want to be like, all right, this is that. Like I want to
Well,
be.
you know you're not gonna be vaporized, right? What happens is this fucking tsunami's gonna come, it's gonna suck you in like that and flip you around. You're gonna drop.
You're gonna
and it's
catch
gonna keep
the fattest
no, no, no.
barrel of your life.
No. I'm talking about. I want to go. I'm
You catch that sick ass barrel, bro.
Dude,
It's like a
here's the thing. We get a big ass like 50, 60 foot.
Did you see what he did? Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Chill, dude. We get a 50, 60 foot longboard.
Noah's longboard.
Yeah,
not
dude.
Noah's Ark.
Dude,
Noah's
and we just get
Fucking
barreled.
dog faces makes a TikTok while
like
the
fucking-
tsunami.
Catch it, baby.
Dude, can you imagine that shit? Like, just you're like, fuck it. This is a gnar wave, dude. This is a fucking gnar.
Check me out on the other side of the earth, dude.
Because
Wind up in Africa.
Because the craziest thing about tsunamis, though, too, like most of them don't break. Like they just
No, they
keep
just-
coming.
Yeah.
So you could actually probably catch it if
You
you had
know,
a big enough
actually-
if you had a big enough surfboard.
Imagine. Okay, think about
But
this.
what
4
kills
hours
you
later,
most of the
just like-
time is the shit that it's the debris that's
Yeah, yeah,
hitting
that's-
you.
God,
That's
dude.
what fucking
Yeah.
Like
mur-
a
murders
machete
you.
warehouse.
Get up on that
gets blown
building.
up.
Get on the top of like the U.S. Bank building with a 40-foot fucking like longboard.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
jump in, dude. Like,
Dude, what if the
wetsuit,
wave?
dude.
What if the wave never stopped? Like you're just
What if
on the
you
wave
made
the
it-
whole time.
What if you made it on the wave? What if you're like, dude, I survived, and then a shark just comes bites your dick off, but you're still alive.
Here's the thing.
Would
Here's the
you
thing.
want to live?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
My precious cock!
Cauterize it with what?
I always thought about like
Salt?
I always thought
no.
about so I always thought about like the treasures of the world and like like El Dorado and all that shit like that. What if
Casually
yeah,
segregated
no,
that.
okay. This, I'm getting to a good point. Okay, so like
Did you
imagine
hit
if
my joint?
yeah, imagine fuck is it fucking
Dorado.
so like imagine it hits and then it suddenly washes over something where it's like, oh fuck, it's there. Like imagine you know what I mean? Like it washes it over where it's like
Lumeria, Atlantis,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. It's like oh fuck, now we can finally the gold is here. Like the gold, it's the city of
my
gold.
God.
Like a city
and
underwater.
that thick ass chick from El Dorado, that thick ass bitch.
Her thighs and an
Did you ever
untapped
see
energy
that movie?
source.
The Road to El Dorado, that cartoon,
Disney
early 2000s.
cartoon.
El
DreamWorks.
Dorado.
Alex.
Alex. We discovered our sexuality
Yeah.
from that chick.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
she was thicky.
Who was
Dude.
your first boner? That's a good question.
Who was first?
Oh.
Who?
First boner. What was your first like
Fuck.
celebrity like boner?
Celebrity?
I'm trying to think.
Oh, mine's Kate Beckinsale. I love that.
Oh
bitch.
yeah,
That's
you
a
like
good
Kate
one. I will-
Beckinsale.
But dude,
Give up
wait a minute.
everything.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
When did how old are you when Underworld came out? 'Cause
Nope,
that was-
not Underworld. Pearl Harbor, baby, and much ado about everything.
Yo, actually, I do remember my first boner. The opening scene of The Mummy, A Knocks on the Moon, when she walks in with those titties, those
Wow.
gold titties.
Yo, okay,
That's a
Mummy
good
too.
one.
Looks to the
Yo, Rachel
I
Weisz.
remember the name.
Rachel Weisz,
Hector from
Mummy
Breaking
2.
Bad.
That's when I realized I like
What?
MILFs.
Rachel
I was
Weisz.
Rachel Weisz and Mummy 2. When
You
they
see her
fight
titty.
together, yo, that was hot. I was like, I like Egyptian cat fights.
You know what? I used to think my first one was Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yo, and in what? In what?
In Dangerous Minds and in Scarface.
Ooh.
Scarface.
Yo, when she was a
But I was
fucking Catwoman
12.
though.
That was
When
just
she
such
was
a weird one,
Catwoman,
You know
man.
what I think the
though.
first boner was? And then I used to think, I'm like, was it Gwen Stefani? Honestly, weird, bro. But I think that might have been it. But it was fucking Fiona Apple, dude.
Ooh,
That's
Fiona
a
Apple's fine.
throwback.
But
That's
no,
a-
you know
in
what?
what? In what?
You know who was
Criminal,
my
the
first
music
fucking-
video. The
You know-
music video Criminal. She was like,
Fuck.
just that blue eyes in the bathroom. Naked.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I remember. I was like, what's going on?
No, I remember my.
It's getting
no, I
pointy
remember my
over
first
here.
boner. You know where my first boner was? Selena.
Ooh.
Because you know why? Because
Rest in
my
peace.
my sister would have the CDs and she would have them laying around, and on the CD was like Selena on there, and I was like,
She got killed by a torta.
yeah, a little torta.
That's a bad torta.
Damn.
Dude, Selena was fine though. Like
Selena
if
was
she was
fine.
alive, she'd be.
She would be like J-Lo. There would
Yeah.
be no J-Lo.
Yeah,
It'd
there
be
would.
Selena.
There would be no J-Lo.
and
Correct.
she'd be
Selena.
Yeah.
obsolete.
If Aaliyah was still alive, there'd be no fucking Beyonce. There'd be no.
Oh shit.
Oh,
shit.
I love Aaliyah.
shit.
Oh, I
Aaliyah.
love Aaliyah.
Aaliyah was a crush that I had. I was like 12 when she died, 13 when she died. I was so sad. I remember the movie Romeo Must Die. She was in
Yeah.
that too. She was.
Did you know that she was actually supposed to be Jada
Jada Pinkett Smith was supposed to do that.
No.
Right? But-
Aaliyah was supposed to play Jada in Matrix 2.
Oh.
But she died before
But
that.
she died before that.
Because she played in the Queen. What was it?
Queen of the Damned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jada-
that's who she is. I was like, who is
Yeah.
that? Dude, that movie was like,
Her music was fucking great.
Dude,
It was all like new
whole
metal.
movie-
Like, dude, that was great,
Who?
man.
Wait,
what?
who?
Queen of the Damned?
No, I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about Aaliyah. Does her
Oh, yeah,
music.
yeah, yeah.
the whole music,
Her
dude. But
was
that
great.
music in that movie,
Yeah,
though,
I
was
think
But
about
there
Queen
would
of the
be
Damned.
no Beyonce if there was Aaliyah around, and there'd be no
Damn.
J Lo if Selena.
Because she slayed in that. She
They
slayed
literally,
heavy.
they literally took like.
Yeah.
Think about it. Right when Aaliyah died, what happened? Destiny's Child. Think about right when
2003, right?
Oh, fuck. What happens when
Damn.
JB
Aaliyah
dies?
died in like 2001.
What?
What happens when JB dies, dude?
JB.
Bieber?
Justin Bieber, yeah. What happens when he dies?
Oh, fuck. Shawn Mendes.
No.
JB. I don't know, man.
Oh, that would be honestly like a pretty crazy thing because he is like a. I mean, he's like I used to think that kid was such a tool, and I still kind of do sometimes. But I'm like, honestly, bro.
No, he's gonna do. He's gonna grow up to be like.
He's already growing up and becoming like a decent fucking.
He could be like a
person.
country star maybe in the future when he's old.
No,
But
he's
You know how
no,
famous that guy is?
yeah,
Like,
He's
insane.
gonna be a preacher at one of those like Hillsong churches. Hey guys, sorry, little technical difficulties. So we forgot to bring extra batteries, and the files got corrupted. So bad news. Good news. We're gonna be doing another episode with Mr. Alex Farivar, a part 2. We're gonna go even more in depth. So stay tuned. Yeah, we're gonna get it filmed. Hopefully, we'll not fuck up this time, but. This is a shout out from the Beta Boys to y'all. We'll get it squared away. All right, guys. Have a good week.